How you doing, legends? Hope you had an incredible round 12. Enjoyed the weekend and had some good results in Draftstars. We get in for that first game of the week with the Storm up against the Manly Seagulls. There's a few guys that spoke about picking up. Both fullbacks were potentially a good option for you, Meany and also Ruben Garrick. I didn't go as well personally. I wasn't able to get Ruben in my squad just for the makeup of the cash there. And I went for DCE over Munster, even though I told everyone else to go for Munster. I think I only had a couple hundred extra dollars, so I might not have been able to pick Munster up in that one. Smithy continues to just score okay. The winner still had Smithy. It was just the sneaky one in Kenny Brom in the 60 that really helped this team out here. I spoke about Kamakamika being a good option, and that worked out well. And then I plugged my cheaper guys being LOA and Walker, and they both went okay. Walker went off with a bit of an injury, so that was that one there. But that's our first game of the week. We moved to number 2. And that one there was the Panthers and the Cowboys. And a decent game here if you're a Panthers fan, that's for sure. And Tones Rocket obviously got away with that win there. And I went with Stephen Crichton, unfortunately. So he went off with HIA and didn't play the rest of the game. So that killed my game, that's for sure. Dylan Edwards, obviously a great one. Tungo was okay there. Spoke about Luai being a solid one. He got another 43 and then just missed out on the Cotter. Didn't spend that extra money, which was the way to go. So Cotter and Isaiah Yeo were the big ones this week that worked out. Fisher Harris has also been good. But this person picked up Leota and also McLean, who had really, really good games at a cheap rate that haven't been really doing so. So went for the guess there with Cohen Hess, who he'd play some decent minutes, and he was okay. So just the Cohen Hess and also the Crichton killed that one. And Cleary not dominating as much. Spending all that extra money on Cleary just didn't work out in this one. Cleary didn't have his best game of the year. So that was why we didn't dominate that one. I hope you played around Cleary rather than going for him in that one there. All right, pretty tough one here in the Broncos and the Titans game there. We spoke about Cobbo being solid. Jaden Campbell had a great first half and then fell away a little bit. Ezra Mam, that most people would have picked up. Carrigan had one of his lighter games as well. And then, Kobe Jensen picked up Stags as well, hoping he'd have a good game. And he did not. It was obviously the Farnworth show in that one. Tino and Capewell had good games as well. So just not the best one here for my picks anyway, unfortunately. Move on to a better game for me, and that was the Warriors and Knights, and got a little bit more lucky with my selections. Dane Gagai was someone I spoke about as someone you could pick up. He didn't have as good a game as we would have hoped, but I spoke about Tohu Harris being a great option there, and he was a good one to pick up. So Johnson probably couldn't keep going, but I thought maybe a third week I'd get a little bit lucky with him. That didn't exactly happen. Clemmer, obviously a great option as well. I picked Daniel Saifidi, got injured, so somehow I ended up getting in a decent position here with how poorly my team ended up getting put together. Frizz was great as well to go along with Tuala and Pompey. So if you're guessing that one, well done on that. All right, to move to the next one, we had the Rabbitohs and also the Tigers there. And this one here, we had Campbell Graham. Thank you. I spoke about him as being a great pick this week, and that was a winner tick. Hastings, I said, has been struggling a little bit, so I ended up picking him rather than spending all the money to go up to some of the bigger guys in that one. That obviously didn't work out. Garner didn't score as well as he has been, but the winner still had Garner in the squad. Kind of fit better with the pricing for sure. But a mixture of Graham, Cam Murray, and also a Cody Walker worked out well. The Nicarime one didn't work so well. Talmau as one of the lighter guys we spoke about as well. He worked out nicely. And picking Dane Laurie at a cheaper price, that 9,000, 8,000, worked really well. If you went for Johnston with his triple, also worked out great. So that were the games there. We had the Sharks v the Roosters. Last 3 there, we had some good selections in Daniel Tupou, for example, with a 54. Obviously, played a great game and earned a spot back into the Origin squad. I went for Kennedy, unfortunately, at that cheap price. Couldn't fit Tedesco in, unfortunately. And would have worked out better if I just went for Luke Keary solely without Hines. Hines at 57 was okay, but we spent too much money on him when you could have gone for guys like Angus Crichton or whatever and just gone with Keary as our mainstay. Connor Tracy's been scoring well. I just didn't have enough money to get him, for example. But changing out Hines this week and Cleary and not going, spending up big on those two would have worked out as a better alternative. But I picked Rudolph, Hargraves, and also Butcher with 3 great options. If I replaced Nico with Crichton, I could have spent that extra money on Tracy and would have had a great win at potential or very close to this one. Or at least, you'd say getting very close and then having Tedesco would have been ideal as well. But can't pick them all, unfortunately. We had a good one in the Bulldogs and the Dragons there. Unfortunately, Karaz didn't have his best game of the season. He played decent footy, just not fantasy-wise. Unfortunately, there I went for Lomax, which was good, and obviously Burton was the pick up there. Paul Vaughan 50 was great, and Amone for the 39.6 in the flex, but it's just Michael Molo not doing as well on the bench like he did in previous weeks. Aaron Woods was the guy that did better, and I went for Waddell over Maxi King. It was just short of Maxi. And would have played him as well. But overall, a much better game in this one. If you followed those tips, I think you would have done fairly well with the Burton, King, and also Lomax. I think, were the three that worked out really well. And then we head for our last game of the week, being the Raiders and the Eels there. And this one was looking pretty good with Penasini, for example. Savage didn't go as great. If you went for Simonson, you absolutely killed it, obviously, but that was a bit of a lucky pick with him averaging pretty low across the season. Moses, I said, was a good pick. Brown as well. You could have had him in the flex. I went for Reed instead, which worked okay with 58, but Brown's 89 was the winner. In this one, Sean Lane has been solid up and down. But a good up game for him. Papali'i was 65. Spoke about him, always a good option. But guys like Horsburgh and Niokore and also Elliott were all solid options there. Without being spectacular, just missed out on the Savage and obviously getting, there's two big scores there in the other team with Simonson and Brown. So that was that in terms of the review show for the week. I hope you guys are learning a lot across the way. And if you want to sign up for Draftstars, just jump into the description below and get in and start playing. You can obviously do multiple entries in a bunch of these games, guys. So check that out when you're playing the $15 one. And I wish you all the best. Have a good week. I'll see you in the next one.